What is up, YouTube? Today I'm going to share with you my new training plan for contest prep in 2024. I have been running the setup now for 3 weeks, so I wanted to wait a little while before I share this with you and before I actually start filming my sessions in detail and breaking them down for you, because I actually wanted to solidify my setup, give it a go before I start filming, and I needed to make sure that I don't need to make any adjustments to the setup to suit, and luckily I did not. So this is a setup I've been thinking about for a little while. Main reason, I would love some more frequency in my training. If you've seen the previous video, you will know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, please make sure you watch the training video where I break down the training split that I have followed for my years of competing and my last off season and last prep. If you haven't watched it, give it a watch first before you actually get into this video. So, the prep series is on, and with that in mind, we have got a new training plan that I want to share with you. Push, pull legs, rest, push, and a pull day with a hip hinge. So it's somewhat of a density day, because on that day we do hit a hip hinge and some hamstring work as well. So it's 5 fixed weekly sessions per week. It's not a rotating split, so now I can have a week that is mapped out completely and fixed with a fixed schedule, which does suit me pretty well, especially now when life is pretty busy and hectic. It does make a nice change to be able to have these set days. Now, this split could be changed and varied to suit your actual needs, so you don't have to follow this exactly to the plan. You could modify this and you could run push-pull legs upper lower, or you could even do push-pull legs and a delt and arms day. Whatever you need, guys, for you to tackle your weaknesses and train to your needs, this split can be modified in such way. So when you have a lot of people have different opinions regarding push-pull legs, that you can't bring up certain body parts, it's probably the best training split you can run if you are looking to bring up weaknesses, even your arms, because of the frequency it allows you to train at. It's just as good as an upper lower split. And any of you guys that follow Jordan Peters, my hero, my mentor, he is actually doing upper lower at the moment, and I would argue it's probably the most effective split for anyone to grow as much tissue as they can through the frequency that you get with it. But key is your programming, as always, and being smart with the exercise selection. We are a week and a half into prep now, 19 weeks and 4 days out from M-Pro Classic. So I've just finished a longer health phase. So as you can imagine, I'm just getting back into the swing of things when it comes to dieting and when it comes to coming down in body weight, which is very much welcomed. I feel fresh, very healthy, and very much ready for this contest prep. It's been a long time, and I'm excited to share the process with you guys. So let's get stuck into sessions. Push A, cable wire raise, cable fly, flat nitro press, which you will get to see. Excited to show you that one actually. High incline strive, prime dip, machine lateral raise, EZ bar push down, and a single set of overhead double extension, and then single leg calf press on a leg press. Core work, always to begin with for every single session. So before my actual push day, I do start with rope cable crunches, 1 to 2 working sets, depending on what I feel like. That is 18 working sets total. I don't actually count my calf and ab volume. Kill me now. Reason why I don't count it, it doesn't really bring about any fatigue. So not all volume is created equal. You have to understand that. The fatigue that you will get from a set of rope crunch is not really comparable to a heavy set of pressing. So I don't really count it, sorry. Pull A, hanging leg raise to begin with, 1 to 2 working sets, as many reps as I can. And then we go into a single arm pull down, 3 working sets, upper back row, single arm prime row, and then pin stack row or a upper back pull down. I do vary both, and then generally I do a Kelso shrug alongside of that with every single set. Rear delt cable fly, prime preacher curl, and then hammer cable curl. That is pull A. A very easy session. On paper doesn't look like much, but it's still quite challenging. Obviously single arm work for the lat work is always my preference. I get a much better connection with my lats, and because of my structure with short arms and a wider rib cage, I do get much more out of my lat work in such fashion. So even distribution pretty much between the upper back and lats. Reason for that is I need more width, more thickness, more lats. So I do spread it out evenly. And what you'll notice, my volume is slightly higher on my back days, especially now I've got more frequency to my back training and my push training. Well, having that fixed weekly split, I'm only training my legs once per week, which brings me on to my leg sessions. My leg session is actually one single session per week. I don't actually vary it. So it is seated hamstring curl, 3 working sets, sometimes 4, and then 1 set of unilateral hamstring curl on a lying leg curl. And generally what I'll do is between both sessions, I will alternate between lying and seated, but the compound work actually remains the same. Reason for that is, guys, training is a skill. If I was to do a different exercise and have 2 variations of legs, that would mean I would only hit that sessions once every 14 days, and that is way too long in between sessions to develop good skill acquisition. So with that in mind, guys, I am sticking to the same hack, which is the Atlantis hack, and the same leg press, which is the Atlantis leg press at this moment in time. So hamstring curl to begin with, leg extensions as a follow-up, leg press, hack squat, 2 working sets on each for compound work, and two working sets on leg extension. And then after the hack squat, I actually have hip thrusts, 2 working sets, and then 1 working set of single leg press going super deep. No adductor work at the moment, and no calf work with leg day at the moment, as I do my calves twice per week on push days. The reason why I'm not doing any adductor work at the moment is I'm actually nursing. It's not so much pain. I found that for some reason the adductor has actually been giving me slight adductor pain. So I've removed it, and voila. No pain and more progression across my compound lifts. However, I have adjusted my stance slightly on my leg press, giving it a wider stance with toes pointing out, getting a much more range of motion, which will directly bias more towards the adductor as well. So I am still training my adductor, just not directly through adjusting my stance on my leg work. So pay note to that, guys. This session, 5 working sets directly for hamstrings, 2 working sets for glutes, and around 6 working sets for quads, which is higher volume than I have ran ever before for my leg day. However, I'm only hitting it once per week. So I can afford for a little bit more volume in place with lesser frequency. And I have found that my legs are still progressing pretty well visually, especially the past few weeks. There's been no loss of fullness. If anything, they look pretty full. So I can definitely get away with a single session for now in terms of frequency. This may change in time, it may not. Again, it all depends on what I see in the mirror and what feedback I get from my body when I check in with the coach, aka me, and see what the feedback is like. And luckily enough, I've still got Jordan to rely on whenever I need him. So he will also have an input, and he actually has gone over this with me. I did send this over to him to get a second eye, and he approved it. So trained by JP approved. There you go. Push B, single arm cable lateral, flat hammer press, the OG, the Dorian press, prime low incline press, dips, just a bodyweight dip, absolutely love them. Incline cable fly or pec deck, overhead cable skull crusher, and then line cuffed lateral. Again, I do them on the floor for the ease of setup with no discrepancy away putting the bench. I literally lay down on the floor, align my knees with the cable, and I've got my standardized setup and position every single time with no messing. Now the big one, the final session, pull B, the hamstring and back day. So we are starting with a single arm pull down. Yes, you guessed. I actually have managed to get my hands on a Nautilus, old school Nautilus pull down, the OG. So I start with that, 2 working sets. Follow that up with a prime extreme row, 3 working sets, prime seated row, 2 working sets, and then prime pin stack row, again 2 working sets on that. And then we go on to an RDL, a barbell RDL. At the moment, it's just 1 working set, as I'm still working out what I can actually handle and what I can get away with. Follow that up with 2 working sets on lying hamstring curl, and then I have 3 working sets of bicep curl, and then 3 working sets of a rear delt row on the prime machine. So it's a monster of a session. However, my recovery is pretty great at the moment. I'm fairly light for me. I'm down to 256 pounds, which for me is relatively light, and I feel extremely fit at this body weight. So my recovery can hack this. So I can safely put the work in and get stuck into these sessions with no negative feedback so far. So guys, that is the training for 2024. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments, drop them down below, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, this can be modified to suit you. If you don't have any of these machines, don't worry, you can use suitable replacements that you do have available. But you can use this for yourself, try it out. If you like it, get it done and get massive. Guys, thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe. Peace out for now.